Hey everybody, how is it going? This is Kirsten here, and you're watching or listening to A Better Way with Kirsten Kimura podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Today's episode is going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. The last episode was more serious. We talked about insulin and cortisol, definitely very important to understand these things for your healthy fat loss. But today we're going to keep things a little bit lighter. And what I'm going to tell you today are some of the things that you may not know about your personal trainer or your nutrition coach, because I have a feeling that a lot of people think that these people, trainers, coaches, they're perfect, their lives look perfect, their nutrition is excellent, and so on. And maybe some of the things are going to be surprising for you today because we are not always so perfect. And of course, I'm not going to speak for everybody. This is impossible. I cannot speak for all nutrition coaches and personal trainers out there, but I can definitely speak from my own experience and definitely from most of these other friends who I have in the same industry who are also coaches, and I know they would agree with me. So I hope you enjoy today's episode. Before that, though, if you're not a member of my Fit and Fueled Facebook group, please join. It is a super fun group, lots of valuable information there. If your goal is to build muscle, get stronger, lose some body fat, then definitely join that group. It's called Fit and Fueled. You can find it on Facebook. And the other thing, as always, if you like these videos, please give them thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're listening to it on iTunes or Spotify, also you can subscribe there. And on iTunes, you can also leave it a 5-star rating and a review. Again, this would help me to reach more people. And I'm really, really grateful for that. Of course, this podcast is completely free. And I'm doing this because I'm very passionate about these topics that I'm covering here, but it would be super helpful if you helped me to reach more people. Okay, so let's then talk today about some of the things that you may not know about your personal trainer or your nutrition coach, maybe some misconceptions that people have, and let's discuss them. Okay, so the first thing that you may not know about your personal trainer or nutrition coach is that not all of us have six-pack abs. Okay, we don't. Many have, and many don't. So the thing here is that having six-pack abs is a goal for so many people. And they think once they get that, everything is great and they're fit and they're healthy and they're happy and so on. And you know what? For some people, it is true. It really gives them so much confidence to feel like empowered. They did it. And I can understand it from a sense of like, yes, I accomplished this. This is a big deal. But to think that all coaches, trainers out there walk around with six-pack abs, all year round, it's definitely not true. Again, maybe some people do, but many don't. And for me personally, having this goal, it's not that important. I do not have six-pack abs. I've never had them, to be honest. And it doesn't bother me. I'm totally okay with it. And I know that it would take a lot of effort and we're probably able to do it. But I'm always considering, do I want to sacrifice as many things as need to be sacrificed for me to get there? Or am I okay with not having six-pack abs and just being fine with, having a lot more flexibility in my diet? And I, at least at this point in my life, choose the second one, where, I want to eat different things. I want to be flexible with my diet. I don't want to worry about how I'm going to stay super lean. So for me, this stage of life is not super important. And that's why I don't have six-pack abs. And I know many other coaches who think about the same way. Now, that doesn't mean that we cannot guide you to get that. If you're willing to sacrifice a lot of things, you're willing to really put in the work, then we can get you there. But it doesn't mean that we have to have, six-pack abs all the time or even ever. Right. So that's definitely not true. We are not super shredded, not all of us, every minute of the year, definitely. All right. The second thing that you may not know about your coach or trainer is that we don't eat super clean all the time, and we do overindulge sometimes. So again, another thing I think people misunderstand is that we probably eat super clean and everything's super under control all the time. And again, this goes to, for everything that I'm going to say today. Some people do. Yeah, I'm sure there are trainers out there who have everything super dialed. They never touch any processed foods and they never overindulge. But most of us are not like that. We do overindulge. We go out and we eat more, and there's Christmas and we eat more chocolate. And we eat a little bit more, sugar or whatever. It's not that we have perfectly meal prepped meals all the time. Now, it's a different thing if we are working on a specific goal, right? So if we have a fat loss goal, we do what we tell our clients to do, and this is, meal prep. You have to know exactly the macros that go into your meal. If you have a goal, you have to do this, of course, right? But that doesn't mean that all the time, every minute of the day, we have everything planned and we have all the meals super perfect and we never overindulge. No, especially if you are in maintenance, and this is where I am right now. Most coaches are, right? This is where we don't always, like, we are not super detailed with every single thing. And what's really cool is that if you have put in the work and built muscle and trained years, you don't even have to be so detailed and so meticulous and super cleaner. You don't need it because your metabolism is humming, it's high, it's, you have a muscle in the body that burns the energy that keeps your metabolic rate higher, and you don't even have to worry about every single detail, every single calorie that goes into your food. There's so much more flexibility, but it is earned because we have done the work, we have put in the work to build that muscle. So there's no need to be super clean and not worry about occasional overindulging. Okay, then the next thing is that sometimes we miss workouts. Okay, but I gotta say, me personally, I don't very often. I just love this has never been hard for me to get the workouts done. So this is probably one of the things that I'm going to tell you here is that yes, we sometimes miss, but this is, I usually do get all my workouts done. But I know, there's a lot of people who maybe have a bad day for some reason. They are a coach, they're a trainer, and they just can't get the workout done. Or a lot of people with families, they have little kids. So I don't have little kids. I have more time for this, but they have something come up with kids. The kids get sick or something happened that they just cannot do the workout. And it happens. It happens with people. Or we go on a vacation and we don't work out there all the time. Now, this is me too. I don't work out all the time when I go on a vacation. There are many vacations when I don't work out. So we do miss our workouts sometimes. We are not perfect. We are not getting, everything, done perfectly. I think, again, this is something that people may misunderstand because we talk so much about discipline and having to, getting the things done. Yes, it is true, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to us that we sometimes skip a workout. Okay. Then the next point is that we are better coaches to other people than we are to ourselves. And this means that we're really good at giving you advice, but sometimes we are not super good at listening to the same things ourselves. And this can show up in different situations. So, for example, it could be like you tell your client, hey, when you're really tired, you should sleep. And then at the same time, as coaches, we go and do our workout. We're like, I know I would tell that to my client. And why do I tell you that? Because I'm honest, because that's just how it is. We are better at telling other people what to do, but when it comes to us, we're like, yeah, I think it's okay. I don't think this one extra workout is going to do any harm. Or, it can be another thing too. Some coaches might tell you all the time to eat, to drink your body weight in ounces, and at the same time not drink, their own water, body weight in ounces. So definitely, we are not very good at taking our own advice sometimes. Again, some areas we do, and then there's some other areas that are harder. We're human. This is just how it is. And again, for me, definitely where it shows up the most is the recovery part when I know that maybe I should recover a little bit more, and then I do the workout. So I've definitely done that several times. But overall, my resting is definitely has gotten a lot better in the past few years. I'm definitely not overdoing it the way I used to in the past. Okay, the next thing is that we too stay up late sometimes. So that's another thing that you may have heard all the coaches say, you gotta go to bed at 10 p.m. every day and not look at the screens. And if you listen to my sleep episode that I did some time ago, you know that this is not even what I tell to my clients necessarily anymore. So it really depends on the person. If you're a person who thrives in like really good routine and you feel like you absolutely need to get to bed exactly the same time every single night, and having all these sleep routine things, perfect. If it works for you, this is great. But I don't always anymore say that to people because I've seen that sometimes it causes more stress than it helps them. So but still, you still hear a lot of people say you have to have all these bedtime routines down, and no light, no screens, no, the room cannot be warm, all these things. And at the same time, a lot of trainers ignore that same advice themselves. So I think sleep is definitely one of these things where it is easier to tell others what to do than to do it ourselves. Even one of my favorite podcasts, they talk a lot about like the perfect sleep routine, and I'm always thinking to myself, are you actually doing this? Because I don't think they always do. But again, because we are all human, and we can't be like 100% perfect at everything. Okay, then the next thing, I think you're gonna like this one, or it might be interesting to hear, is that, you know what? When we post pictures of us on social media, we too pick better looking pictures, right? So there's no point in hiding that. There's no point in hiding that, in saying that, no, I just post the first picture that I took and it turned out fine. We take also several pictures and then we pick the one that looks better than the other ones. Why would we be different? We do just like what everybody else is doing. And this is what people want to see. This is not to say that I'm like hiding certain parts, not showing or photoshopping or doing that stuff. No, I don't ever like Photoshop anything. I don't do that. But of course, just like anybody else, if you think about yourself, like, do you not put the best looking picture if you want to put it on social media? Or if you, let's say that you want to put it like on, family picture, you want to put it on a wall, don't you pick the better looking picture and do that? Well, trainers do the same thing. This is exactly what we do. And I don't think there's any need to hide that. We're all human. Okay, then the next thing that I wanted to say is that uh, one thing that is probably common for all personal trainers who have been in the business for more than 5 years is that we continue working out more because of how it makes us feel mentally than physically. And I think this is, like I said, for trainers who have been working a little bit longer. Maybe if you're like in month one, month two, year one, year two, a lot of trainers, coaches are lifting and working out because of their physique results. And this is not to say that for people who have been working in the industry for longer, that this doesn't matter. I'm not going to deny that at all. I absolutely enjoy that. I've put on a lot more muscle than I had before. I enjoy being fit and strong. But the thing that really keeps me going back to the gym, and sometimes also the reason why, like I mentioned, sometimes may overdo it and not listen when I need rest, it's actually the mental and emotional benefit. It truly is so powerful. The longer you do it, the longer you realize you don't want to be without it anymore. And it becomes a thing that makes you feel so good. It's not like an addiction. It's not problematic, right? If I need to take a day off, or I mean, I always take days off, but if I need to take a week off, no problem. I can do it without going crazy. But still, overall, the benefit has shifted, right? So like I said, when you start out, it's definitely more about the, like, how do I look? How does it shape my body? What can I, what kind of clothes can I wear? What kind of pictures can I take? It can be like this for a lot of people. A lot of people can get into this business of personal training and nutrition because of their own insecurities. It's a very, very common thing. Actually, that should be one of these things on the list too. What that you didn't know is that many, many trainers are doing the work that they're doing, that they started this work because of their own insecurities. They wanted to shape their body a certain way, look a certain way. But the longer we do it, the longer we keep lifting weights, the more we do it for the mental health benefits. I think that I can say with full confidence for everybody who has been training other people and going to the gym for years and years, right? Okay, then the next thing is that we do not live at the gym and we have life outside of the gym too. So I think, again, a lot of people think that this is all we do. This is our life because that's what they see on social media. We're lifting weights and we are preparing our food and we're talking about these things, right? So you may easily get this impression that this is everything that is in our lives. That's all we do, right? Nothing else. But it's not true. I don't think this is true for anybody, to be honest. I think most people have something outside of the gym too. Most coaches and trainers that they like to do. Is just that it's not, maybe not getting enough, like, you don't talk about it so much on social media because you are trying to talk to your audience about the thing that you're trying to help them with the most, and this is the fitness stuff. And you can easily get this impression that this is all we do. No, we still have friends, and we still have weekends when we do other stuff. Not absolutely everything is going to be posted on social media. We do have our private life too. Some people showing more, some people less, some people not at all. There are even trainers and coaches who don't show their faces on social media. They just put like blank or like white posts without showing their faces at all. And these people just like to be more private because they have other things too, right? Probably besides the business and besides gym and food prep and all that. So yeah, we don't live our lives at the gym, and we do have other things that we like to do as well. Okay, the next thing, a couple of more here, is that passion drives us much more than money. Again, I think that we can say that, I can say that pretty confidently. It is true for most trainers and coaches out there. We really want people to change, and we want to give what we can so that we can help these people to change. This is just so important. And it can be important for many reasons. For a lot of people, it's their own personal transformation, right? They have been, maybe they were obese and then they got into shape and they're like, oh my goodness, this feels so amazing. I'm so healthy. I want to teach others how to do that as well. Or it can be that, I would say most often this is the case, right? Or it can be that you've done it wrong before. Maybe you have done so much cardio, depleted your body. Maybe you have had severe hormonal issues, and now you've healed yourself. You're like, oh my God, I see all these people out there. I want to help them. And sometimes it feels like I just want to go somewhere and like yell really loud, like, this is the way. I want to show you how to do it because I'm just like so passionate about it. And the passion is what drives it a lot more than money. Now, this is not to say that you couldn't be like wildly successful. You absolutely can. There are a lot of people who are making a lot and a lot of money, so absolutely possible. But I still think that for most people who are in this, you can sense, I think you can sense if somebody truly wants to help, like from the bottom of their heart. They're like, I do want to help you. And sometimes it's like when I'm talking to somebody who has shown interest in maybe working with me, and then I know with like full certainty that I can help you or really want to help you. And then they decide that it's a no, that I want to move on. It's more like, oh my God, it's not that, oh, I didn't get that client. It's really like I couldn't make that change happen that would have been possible for this person. This is what hurts a lot more, actually. So I think if somebody's truly passionate about what they're doing, you can tell. And I think most trainers and coaches actually are like that. Okay, and one more thing, we love positive feedback. I think a lot of people can say that, I don't care. I'm like so, strong. I'm confident in my ability to, get people change and get them results, and this is awesome, and I don't need validation. But I think that most of us really need or like at least this positive feedback. When somebody says, hey, it's amazing to be able to fit in these clothes. Or one of my recent success stories, and I posted that in my social media too. One of my clients who has now become a completely definitely a good friend. She said that she was dealing with chronic fatigue and pain for over a decade, and now she's feeling stronger than she ever thought possible. Like in a half a year, the work that we've done, she feels so strong and capable, and she never thought this is possible. And reading this is what is really meaningful for us, because I told you that we do it because we are really passionate about helping people. And honestly, when I'm telling you this story right now, I'm like getting the chills, because it feels just like it feels so important and feels really good. And sometimes, you're just really, really moved. You're like, oh my goodness, I was able to help somebody on that level. So it really makes us feel good. So um, this is another thing I think that a lot of people may not know. Maybe some people might think that trainers, coaches, they're just like doing their job, and it's like just we see the clients as like that's just another client. But it's actually, it feels very personal if you're able to change somebody's life on such a deep level. It really means a lot to us to get that feedback too. So this is all. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and let me know if you have any feedback on it. Thank you so much for being here today, and I see you again next time. Take care.